establishment in town that can't kick him out. His own basement. The world, according to Rocket.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it is I, Rocket Man, and here we are. It's another Monday night for the Monday Night Live. How y'all doing? Hey, Stingray, what's up, buddy? All right, I'm just going to send you some love right there, man. Thank you. Oh, man, I'm sore from the game last night, right? I mean, Saturday night. I'm sore. I need to get me in the jacuzzi or something because I feel all bent up and busted up. You know, it's interesting that I've done a lot of studying this weekend, well, in the past couple of weeks, actually. Get rid of my candy wrapper there. And it's been interesting to kind of look back over this season. And the reason I started with the whole injury thing is because I think there have been a lot more, well, I don't think, I know, there have been a lot more people hurt on this football team that we knew about. Okay? And I will show you some evidence of that tonight when a few more people get here, and I can zap over to my pictures folder and pull a couple of things in here. We have UConn coming in this Saturday, and the line on that game is is crazy. It's 35. The line is 35 on that game. And while in my heart of hearts, I'm excited to get that sort of line, but my computer model says 35-17. Mr. Jones. There you go with all those caps again, Mr. Jones. Welcome. I'm excited about, 35. I don't know whether I trust 35 or not. My computer model has 35-17. That's what the computer model has. Now, I always at home increase my computer model by a touchdown. So what I have going into the week is 42-17. That's what I got. All right. Now, somebody do the math on that. That ain't 35. I think that's 28, 42-17. So in order for it to be 35, in order for Tennessee to cover, that would need to be like 49-17 or 50-17, right? Now, I do have a scenario here where it could be 52-17. But I'm not going to do that yet. I may do that a little later in the week. And people say, well, why do you do it later in the week? Because we don't know what's going to happen. Joe could get hurt in practice, or Dylan Sampson and Jabari Small could get in a fight and get suspended or something. Hey, I'm not playing enough. That kind of crap happens, or the whole offensive line get COVID or something, God forbid, right? I mean, so the number that I come up with on Sunday is not typically the number that I end up with by the end of the week. But for right now, I am going at 42-17. for the Vols for this game, and I shall tell you why. Let me grab my notes here. Okay, we got these two football teams. Considering the strength of schedule, the strength of record, the various offensive and defensive and special teams metrics that I go over with a fine-tooth comb, Tennessee obviously has a clear advantage here, and will beat them like a rented mule. Not that I've ever beat a rented mule, just so the PETA folks don't get on me. But there's a significant disparity in quarterback ratings in this game. There's a significant disparity in rushing game and passing metrics, all in favor of Tennessee. Okay? And as I said, the initial computer model for MOJOE, the big boss daddy college football computer, is 35-17. And I always add at Neyland another touchdown there because the crowd is worth another touchdown on most occasions. So I've got it 42-17 going into this Monday at the beginning of the week with a liberal sprinkling with a liberal sprinkling of Nico sightings there in the fourth quarter. Now, here's what's interesting about this score. My computer model came up with 35-17. I always give them an extra touchdown. At Neyland makes it 42-17. I just said that. I know why. I'm emphasizing it because 35-17, you add those numbers up, and you get 52 points, which is right at the over-under, which I find fascinating. Somebody else has been looking at my my computer model. Isn't that interesting? The over and under is 53 at the moment. And the total with my computer model is 35-17 equals 52. So that could fluctuate one way or the other, which makes me think, 35-17 might be a score that is a real score for this football game. Let me get back to the chat board here and welcome some folks. Mr. Jones, I welcomed you. Number 9 ranked Vols men's basketball beat number 4 ranked Michigan State in an exhibition yesterday, 89-88. Go Vols. James Miles, that means we have to score when we're inside the 20. Yes, it does. We have to do better in the red zone. Mr. Jones, that's what we thought about Austin P. He ain't wrong. Mr. Jones ain't wrong. That's exactly what we thought about Austin P. However, I do believe we are a different football team than when we played Austin P. Now, I will get into this deeper in tomorrow's video. Maybe Wednesday's video. I'm not sure. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I will do the big video about this game and show you all the metrics that I use and how I come up with these brilliant prognostications, whatever that means. I mean, last week I had 34-24. And score was 33-27. That's pretty good. And the week before that, the boys let me down. Well, the week before that, actually, I was pretty damn close, too. I had Alabama winning by 3. They ended up winning by, 10 or something? So I'm pretty confident about my computer model on this particular game. And as I said, we're starting at 42. 17 for the week. Now, some things of interest. Jalen Wright, 11 carries for 120 yards. Sick. Dylan Sampson, 17 carries for 75 yards. And, man, he made two of the biggest runs of the season, really, there at third down. And that third down run, when he was stopped, and he just second and third efforted it and got the first down and then took it up the middle again and got a touchdown. Holy crackers. Those two guys are amazing. Now, and that's not to take anything away from Jabari Small. That's just the problem when you have so damn many good people on your football team, particularly in the running back room. Now, Devin Leary, the Kentucky quarterback, had a career day. I blew my mind on that. This guy was not supposed to be that good. Although they're telling you now, oh, we always knew he was that good. Yeah, well, he hadn't done anything that good yet. He was 28 for 39, 2 touchdowns, 372 yards. All right, that's a lot of yards. He had a pass rating. He had not a pass rating, but a quarterback, a QBR rating, adjusted QBR of 84.4. Wow, that's good. 75 is considered excellent. That's what Devin Leary did. I do a dramatic pause here. Not so fast, as Corso would say. Joe Milton III, 18 for 21 and 228 yards with 1 touchdown and a QBR rating of 85.6. How about that? As good as Devin Leary played, Joe Milton's QBR was better than his that night. And I got to tell you, I've never seen that Joe Milton play on this football team. This guy was rolling out and just throwing darts, dropping dimes. He was running over people. Man, the only thing that really sucked about the other night against Kentucky was we couldn't get to the quarterback. That's the only reason Devin Leary had such a good game. We couldn't get to him for whatever reason. Didn't get to him once. We hit him a couple of times after the fact, but the passes were still completed. I'm still scratching my head on that. Mr. Jones says, that's what we said about LCP. Yeah, right. Stingray, 3-headed monsters in our running back room. Absolutely. And there are 3 more behind those guys. Right? I mean, you got at least 2 more. You got Cam Seldon, and you got that Khalifa Keith kid. That monster. I want to see him run the ball. Heath Perry, hey, welcome. Thank you. I don't recall you being here very often. I appreciate you coming in here. We make all bad QBs look like Heisman winners. Well, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. But most of the time we get to the quarterback. Most of the time. When we don't, that secondary just can't hold up. Bless their hearts. George Kemp. They were looking for the run and not the pass. Well, they did a pretty damn good job of stopping the run. Wouldn't you say, George? D-line were being held. Yeah, Stingray, I get it. I get it. Those things rarely go in our favor, do they? It's enough to make you drink whiskey. Some other things of note that I thought were awesome. Dante Thornton, this awesome kid from Oregon who transferred in. Number 1, 6'5", run like a deer, 210. Holy crackers. You know, I've been waiting on this guy to even get in the game. Well, as it turns out, he's just been hurt this whole time. He got hurt back in the spring. And that's one thing that annoys me about about Heifel. And I'm not saying this as a criticism because his job is not to make me happy. He's doing a pretty effing good job with what he's doing. I mean, we bitched and moaned about, they're running up the middle again. You know what? We had a great frickin' win, man. That was a huge win up there in Kentucky. It was huge because they were good enough to beat us. Most of the time, they're not good enough to beat us, but they were good enough to beat us this time. Stingray says, I lost connection again. I just must have a suck connection where I live here because the lives are very annoying, and I apologize. So we're talking about Dante, and then Squirrel was Dante was 3 catches for 63 yards. That's pretty amazing. And that one that we got excited about was when Joe was rolling out to his left and threw it against his body. You know, he was directing traffic, telling Dante Thornton, no, come back this way, I'll hit you. And pow! And he ran for 40 yards. Man, that was exciting. That looked like Tennessee. That looked like Tennessee used to look like, right? And then Chaz Nimrod. You know, they said, oh, well, the guy fell down, the guy that was defending it. No, he had beaten him by 4 yards. If you go back and look at that, he had actually beaten him by 4 yards when the guy fell down. And my theory on that is he fell down after he saw he was beaten so he could have that excuse. Coach, I'm sorry I fell down. Slipper field. No, you got beat really bad. And you go look back at it, it was he got beat 4 yards on that. Pretty amazing. So all in all, I am pretty happy with what happened on Saturday night. And I have a couple things that I'm going to share in the next video about Coach Heupel that I think are pretty awesome. Now, here is my question. Are we peaking? Is it me? Or are we starting to get better and good and kind of glimpses of the old Tennessee from last year? At the right time? I'm curious about that. So, we've got Connecticut this weekend. We'll beat Connecticut. Whether we cover or not, I don't know. We might not cover because I really do feel like they got to get Nico in there to get some experience, right? Before the end of the year, if they keep going at this rate, it'll be Vanderbilt before he gets in there. And I don't think they want to do that. That's not good for Nico, I don't think. But we've got Connecticut this weekend, and then we have to go to Missouri. Missouri could win the East. They could win the East. Guess who they play this weekend? Georgia. They got to go to Georgia and play this weekend, and that's going to be just as interesting a game as our game. You know, we're there for fans, but what happens if Missouri beats Georgia? Holy crackers. I mean, what? Then Georgia comes to us the following week. See, it's really important now that we beat Missouri, right? Because I know it sounds crazy. I haven't done the math. I haven't done the math yet, but we still have a chance to win the East. A lot of things have to happen. It's out of our control, except just winning out, right? We have to beat Missouri and we have to beat Georgia. But if Missouri beats Georgia, could happen. They're playing really good. Then we got to beat Missouri. And then we got Georgia. I mean, and what's crazy about it for me is that it just seems like I'm seeing Saturday night, as much as we bitched and moaned about, oh, they're running up the middle again, I saw glimpses of last season. I saw glimpses of score at will. Am I making that up, or did you guys see that as well? Let me know. Let me know what you think. But I swear I did. I mean, that Chaz Nimrod thing. I mean, that looked like Jalen and Hooker hooking up last year to me. Right? And that monster touchdown run of Jalen Wright. I mean, holy crackers. He was gone. And then those two rollout. Joe actually threw perfect passes on two separate rollouts, and I've never even seen him roll out. I mean, he just came out of there, got out of the pocket, started directing traffic, completing the passes. I'm going, what? You know, and when I'm doing this thing live, I'm not really able to see the game the way that I would like to see the game, because I got to come in back here and you know, babysit you guys a little bit, and I don't mean that in a negative way. But, you know, I need to be here and be present for you all as well. And, you know, and when I've looked at this game and studied it more, I'm going, damn, this football team is improved. It's improved from last week. And then last week, the way they came out and kicked the crap out of Alabama in the first half, and then the way they came back and just beat up Kentucky, I don't know. Maybe I'm just high on life or something. A rocky top high. But it's pretty exciting. Let's see, David Stiegel. Stiegel or Stiegel? I'm going to go with Stiegel, since you got two L's there. You might be on to something. Yeah, I think I might be. I think they're better. And maybe we're just not giving Heupel enough credit for being able to turn chicken shit into chicken salad. And I don't mean our team is chicken shit. I mean that, you know, there's an injury thing. I listened to Heupel's. I listened to several of Heupel's post-game interviews, not just of this game, but other ones as well. And this guy is a lot smarter than I thought he was. Now, I'm not saying I didn't think he was smart. I did. I do. But I think he's a lot smarter than I thought he was. You know, he has had to deal with a lot of adversity, and he keeps on winning. We're 6-2, right? Hang on a sec. Oh, stupid thing. That's my morning alarm. In the evening, imagine that. I hope we see both sides of the team start playing a competitive game, Stingray. Yeah, I think so. I just don't. You know, we've been so disappointed because of our own expectations here all season, because we wanted it to be what it has been. You know, and it's not quite there yet. But I got to tell you, if Joe Milton continues to play the way he's playing, wow, we got a chance at winning things, and he's got a chance at the next level. Mr. Jones, Heupel said the defense would be elite because he knew the offense wouldn't be as explosive with Joe. Right? It's not. It's not as explosive with Joe, but I got to tell you, it was pretty damn explosive this weekend. We saw those big gash plays this weekend that we haven't seen all season. There were 4 of them, I think. And, man, when you can get those, whew, and I'm just happy to see Dante Thornton in the mix making plays, right? Because I had huge expectation for that young man. Wow. And he's been hurt all the time. He's been hurt since spring, I found out this past weekend. Since spring. Now, what I don't know, and I'm going to make it my business to find out, is about Keenan Peely, the linebacker, to see when he's going to be available. I would imagine it's not going to be this weekend, even if he is. Maybe against Missouri, maybe against Georgia, who knows? But man, this last run at the end of the season it's pretty exciting, don't you think? Am I misreading this? Is everybody share these little glimpses or no? Mr. Jones, it's coming together at the right time. Yeah, I think so too. It seems like it anyway. We shall see. And Vol Nation is going to share that. It's going to share that excitement. And there's just an aroma of winning. And poor Connecticut. I mean, yikes. They're not very good. You know, they're not very good on any level. And I know that's what Austin Peay said, or that's what we said about Austin Peay, but it's a different team, and it seems like to me we are getting our shit together at exactly the right time. Okay, that's all I got. This is just a little preview about the Connecticut game and my thoughts there. Missouri and Georgia this weekend. That's going to be a game to watch. It's at 3:30 Eastern, and that'll be following our game. Our game is at 11. Vols, Mr. Jones says Vols ranked them 7 in the country in rushing. And I can't see. And 74th in passing offense. Yeah. Well, we've had a lot of bad games passing. We really have. But it has not been the last week. We were awesome. I mean, dude was 85% passing. I mean, he's never done that. He's never done that in his life. I don't think, probably since high school. Eric B. Jones and Associates, taking time away from chasing some ambulances and coming into the live. What's up, Rocket? An okay win over Kentucky for Tennessee. The defense didn't get home enough Saturday night. I would agree. But the offense won the game for Tennessee, and we still Kentucky's daddy. You're right, bro. You are right. I mean, it's just in the DNA of the Tennessee-Kentucky connection. I mean, we just say baby daddy. That's all. Like I said, we own Kentucky like Dolly Parton owns Dollywood. We do. That's the truth. Unfortunately, Georgia has owned us like that for the past many years. Hopefully we can break that spell. Now, coming up, hey, Robert Duncan, coming up at Missouri, here's some, I know I'm getting ahead of myself here, but here's the thing about playing Missouri. 2 years ago, Heupel went in and took that group to Missouri and dropped 61 points on them. Okay? In their own house. Last year, Missouri comes to Neyland. He dropped 66 points on them at our house. So that coach was just freaking livid, right? As you would be. Why not? So I don't know. You know, now, of course, Coach Hype was the offensive coordinator at Missouri, right? So I don't know whether he has a thing about, you know, I'm going to kick these guys' ass every time I get a chance. I don't know. There's something going on there. So he's kind of set a very high bar to go back up there in 2 weeks. Is he going to score another 60 points on him? I don't know. Robert Duncan says, I hope we see Nico in this game. I cannot imagine this game without us not seeing Nico in the middle of the third quarter and in the middle of the beginning of the fourth quarter. I cannot imagine that game. You know, I think we need to be up like 35-17. I would like to see him start just to see him play with the ones. I want to see him play with the ones, right? Hiya, Slim. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I see you're working late there. So anyway, I'm kind of curious what's going to happen when we go to Missouri up there. 66, 61, 66, and 72. Who knows what's going to happen? Here's what I do know. I do know, for those of you who just got here, my computer model this time, and I've been pretty good this season. Computer model is, what was it? What did I say? I don't have it in front of me. 3517 is my computer model, and which interestingly enough is right at the over-under number, which is 53. Now that could change. If I were a betting man, and I might be, I like the over 53. I always add, again, this is for those late arrivals, I always add a touchdown because of Neyland, right? So what I have right now, barring any injuries or any new information that I received before Friday, I've got Tennessee 42-17 in this game. Man, I would love them to be up 35-17 at the half, so they come out and let Nico have a half of football to himself. You know, man, I would love that. Whether that's going to happen or not, I do not know. But I think this one is secure. So we go into Missouri next weekend, 2 weeks, 7-2. They've only lost one game, right? They're in contention for the East. But as I said earlier, they play Georgia this weekend. Mr. Jones, Nico Iamaleava. You practicing shouting his name from the stands, my brother? All right, that's all I got for tonight, and I will see you with the video a little bit later in the week, and it's going to be fun.